What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a breaking news show because the window has opened for us because we agreed a deal and a deal that nobody was expecting because we agreed to sell both Timothy Weah and Mbangula to Nottingham Forest for a combined of about 22 slash 23 million. Yeah, you heard that correctly. We're selling two first teamers for a combined of 23 million euros to Nottingham Forest. We agreed that. Now it's up to Nottingham Forest to agree terms with the players who are still at the Club World Cup, and still need to decide if they actually want to go. But we are selling two first teamers for best case scenario, apparently 23 million euros. So a lot to unpack. Before we do that, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, let's talk about this. Okay, where do we need to start? Should we start about talking about the players moving on? Because let's talk about the players, then about the transfer fee in total, because I think that's the biggest issue at this moment in time when it comes to this deal. Timothée Weah should be moved on. Very simple. He's not a good enough starter, and when he comes on, he has games where he's useful, and he has games where he just blends in and it's just whatever. He doesn't pop up. He doesn't do anything wrong. He doesn't do anything good. It's just he's out there, but he's out there just to be out there. Since he joined, I still have no idea what type of player he is. Let's be honest. He had a good patch this season. I think he scored about 5 goals, and that was good. It helped us in certain moments, but overall, he's not a good enough player. He's not a starter, and I've always said if you can cash in on subs this season, this summer, you do that to reinvest in the first team, to build that first team up and improve and actually compete. So I don't have any issues with moving Timothée Weah on. That's one. When it comes to Mbangula, I like Mbangula. I don't know how the squad, like what we're going to do up top. Is Nico Gonzalez going to stay? Are we going to buy Conceição, which we're going to talk about later today in a different video, because Juve made a bid for Conceição, so stay tuned for that. However, I don't know how the squad is looking, so I'm assuming they're letting Mbangula go because they have other things planned. I like Mbangula. He's cheap. That's what it is. We didn't pay anything really for him. He's on cheap wages. He's a good option in my opinion. Now, the same goes if you can cash in, and you can prove the 11. That's one. The second thing is Tudor doesn't like Mbangula. So it's pointless. If you have a coach who doesn't like a player and he's in the squad, he occupies a position and he never plays, I mean, it's a loss for him, for us, for Tudor, for everyone. It's pointless. So you follow the coach and you decide to move on in Mbangula. Now comes the issue. 40 million and 8 million is bad business, especially if you're selling to the Premier League. Casadei costs about 20 million. We paid over 20 million for Lloyd Kelly. I think Inter won about 25 million euros for Esposito. And we're selling two players for 22 million euros. I think the Timothée Weah one is what it is. I think you can get a bit more, but I don't rate him that highly. So maybe I would be a hypocrite to say I want 25, but it's a Premier League. You should be getting more out of it. Mbangula for 8 million is criminal. I remember Antwerp wanted to sign in Nonge, if you remember that guy, for about 6 million euros, and he had absolutely showed nothing. And we're selling Mbangula for 8 million to the Premier League. That is the issue. It's not enough. Like, we are one of the worst teams when it comes to selling. We are horrible at selling under Marotta, under Giuntoli, under Paratici, now under Comoli. We cannot sell players. I don't know what it is. I think everybody who walks into this club gets a course on how not to sell players, because it's always the same thing. We are bad when it comes to selling players. Quality players, mid players, very bad players, we cannot sell at this club. It feels like they're just panicking because they maybe need money. They want to move out these players, and they're scared they don't get another opportunity down the window. And they're like, you know what, take it. I think a fair price would be around 30 million euros. I think that's fair. 15 for both, because I don't care that Weah is an international. I don't like, a lot of players are internationals. I don't even know what that means, to be honest. But I think around 30 million is a fair price, in my opinion, when it comes to those two players in total. But we're not getting that. We're getting 22 at best if Timothy Weah and Mbangula agree to join Nottingham Forest, because they play Conference League. I don't know if they have other options. Mbangula has options in Germany. I've not heard anything on Timothy Weah, so I don't know if he wants to join Nottingham Forest. That will all depend. But the club agreed. It's been reported by Matteo Moretto, by Di Marcio, saying that it's kind of done. Between the clubs, that's the valuation. And maybe some millions will change. Maybe it will 2 million more, maybe 2 million less. Who knows? But that's the valuation. It's more about the players now accepting it. And again, are we going to miss him in starting 11? No, we're not going to miss him. I think Mbangula could have given us something down the line, but if you're going to replace him, then fine, I guess, if you have certain plans and Tudor doesn't like that player, but you take away an option, even if you're not like him, being Tudor, at one point, you're going to have injuries and you're going to need these players. So, let's see. But 22 million? I don't know. Let me know what you think about that transfer fee. But for a combined of two first-team players, I mean, actually Juve first team players, not starting 11, but like first teamers. I think that's peanuts, especially to the Premier League. Like Casadei, 20 million, and he's such a bad player. Esposito, they won plus 25 or something, and there's nothing special about Esposito as well. Kelly, we paid more for Kelly, who was a bench player, who was free the season before Newcastle got him. I mean, it sits wrong. It really sits wrong. Now, the transfer window is moving. The club is looking at it, basically saying, okay, we're moving ahead. We're getting cash, and that's it, and we keep going. I think that's how the club is viewing it. But, I mean, you also do not need to just hand out players just for the sake of getting things moving, because at that point, you're just going to, if club's seen this, they will undervalue every single player, because they know you're kind of panicking and just giving away players, whatever. Yes, plus Valenza for Mbangula, because you got him basically for nothing. But still, it just sits wrong, in my opinion. It really sits wrong, the transfer fee, rather than selling the players. Anyways, like I said, let me know what you think about the players moving on. And then separately, what do you think about the valuation of the players? Do you think we should have gotten more? Should be asking for more? Or do you think it's already over the top? Because some actually believe we are fleecing Nottingham Forest, So let me know, like, subscribe, and I'll speak to you guys later.